Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network. I'm checking the date, and we are about 2 weeks into our new year. And for many, 2 weeks into resolutions and trying to attain goals. And it's often been said by the third week of January, people derail. And certainly by the first week of February, many people drop off in terms of what their resolutions are. Question, how do we continue on track? And what if something comes up that throws you off track? How do you get back on again to attain your goals? We're going to talk with somebody who is an amazing certified life coach. She's also a Clarity Catalyst instructor. And this is in her wheelhouse. Ghada Elias joins us once again here on the program. How you doing today?
I'm very good. How are you?
Good. Just trying to stay on track. It's really what it is. I'm sitting here and it's like, now filling these out. This is, have quarterly tax payments. I've got this over here. I got that over there and all. And then that's not my resolution. It's those things that they get in the way. Any thoughts on when we typically derail with our resolutions? Is it usually 2 weeks in, 3 weeks in?
Usually, yes. Because most of us, when we set something to do for ourselves, we go into it like full speed.
Yep. And
then we get tired, and then we're like, okay, then things start to happen again, and our normal life, the way it used to be, now it's happening again, and then we put it aside. Now, sometimes life happens in a way where we have to put things aside, like illness, any big change that we cannot not take care of. Like, for example, when my kids get sick, okay, everything stops. Therapy stops, everything. Everything is on hold until they get better. So that's a major thing. But a lot of times it's us that we just don't keep going with what we've decided to do. So how do we stay on track? Now, and we're not talking when major things happen in life, because when major things happen, everything stops. Absolutely. But how do we keep on track? Well, the first thing is what we have to do when we set a goal for ourselves is put it in writing. Put it in writing, because if we don't have it in writing, if we don't see it in front of us, our brain is so full of things in life that we're going to forget. And it's not because we're doing it on purpose. It just, that's how we are.
It's so critical. And
yes,
I shared with you, I'm in a men's group. That's what we do. We have weekly goals and 90-day goals. And we call them, the weekly are weekly commitments. What are your commitments? Could be, I'm going to the gym 4 times, at least an hour at a clip. I'm going to make a phone call to an attorney because this needs to get done over here. I'm just getting hypothetical stuff. And every time we talk, and it's daily, by the way, you're paired up with a different man for a week in your group, and you hold each other accountable. And I know later today I'm going to talk with one, and we're going to go over 90-day goals. How's he doing? How am I doing? But to your point, it's written down. I can pull it up right now on an app. You can't escape. You can't run. You can't hide. It's all there.
I love this male group, because it's not about male or female. It's about having a support. Someone is there to check up on you, and something in us, we kind of don't want to, not just disappoint ourselves. We don't want to seem like we're not doing what we're supposed to do. So we actually make ourselves do it in a way. So we're not given the answer that, okay, I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do. That's part of the humanity. That's how we are. That's how we think. But the support that you're getting, that is so crucial.
And it can be anybody. It can be
yes.
you as a coach. It could be a friend. Although, when it's somebody closer to you, I think they give you a pass too often.
Yes.
The men's group, they don't take any CRAP. What's the deal? How come you haven't done it? What's going on with that? And then I remember one of them was away for a wedding in the Caribbean, and I hadn't talked to him in a couple of days, and he hit me up. And he's like, "You said you were going jogging. You better go jogging." I'm like, can't run, can't hide. Well, I should be running, but I can't hide from this. And I actually sent him a video. It's like a 10-second video. Running? Here I am. I'm jogging right now. Look at I can't even speak. I'm out of wind, But isn't this all habit? Is everything we're doing here habit?
Is habit. Yes, it is habit. But to develop those habits, we all need support. There's not one person on earth that can do things on their own. We all need each other. But it takes a lot of a person to ask for help, to say, okay, I need support in this area.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And as easy as it is to make it a habit to do the right thing, or what your goal is, it's just as easy to get into a bad habit.
Bad habits.
Like so easy. Like I had fitness goals, had some things come up, so I had to take some time. We'll get to that in a second. For all of us when those things happen. But I developed some bad habits. Now, before I go to bed, I'm like, let me open the refrigerator, just take a spoon of something. What the heck? How bad could that be? Well, when you think about it, even if it's something sweet, you're going to sleep. Now your body's not even metabolizing. It's just sitting there in you. And I got into this habit. And I'm like, what am I doing? Like, I got to stop. But it's so easy just to say, you're worth it. You deserve it. Let me just open the refrigerator at 10 o'clock at night. I have to break that habit.
and you know what? It's interesting because then our brain is telling us, well, you're going to the gym. You're going to exercise. Right. So it's okay. Right? Yeah. It's so easy for us to self-sabotage and think negative. I did a workshop a couple of days ago, and in the beginning, I asked everyone to introduce themselves and say one positive thing about themselves. It was hard for some of them to come up with one positive because we are wired to think negative.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's this one lady, she could not say anything positive about herself.
I can see that. I can understand it. Even they say you should look in the mirror every day and say, I love you.
Yes. And you know what? It's going to sound weird in the beginning. It's going to sound awkward.
Yeah.
But the more you do it, you start to feel it. It's just that beginning that it's okay. Feel awkward, feel weird about it, but then do it. Just keep on doing it.
Do you think that we're afraid to be egotistical?
Yeah.
Like, we're more humble.
It's a lot of times, a lot of people think of self-care as you're being selfish. You're taking care of yourself. You should not be putting yourself first. You should be putting your kids first and your husband first and everybody else first because we are giving. We should. We are supposed to be humans. We are supposed to give and care and all this. But then why aren't we caring about ourselves also? Because if you think about it, your best friend that's outside your house, that's living outside your house, that's your best friend. But the one that's inside your house is you. Mm-hmm. And you are your bestest friend. Because you sleep with yourself, you eat with yourself, you go jogging with yourself. You are that person for yourself, and you're going to grow old with yourself. So if you can't be your bestest friend That's gonna be.
This is the secret of life, what you're saying right here. And we would never say to our best friend the things that we say to ourselves, even in our mind. You would never, you look in the mirror first thing in the morning, you should be praising yourself, but instead, what do? Oh man, look at that. You look horrible today. You gained weight again. Look,
Gained weight.
Look at that. Would you walk up to your best friend? Think of your best friend right now. Would you walk up with them? Hey, dude, you look horrible.
Look awful.
Look at the zit on your head. You're fat today. We never do
You
that.
won't, because we don't want to put them down. We don't want them to feel horrible about themselves.
Right.
But then what do we do to ourselves?
Yep.
We do that.
It is
exactly.
Once you and it goes back to, it's a cliche, but it's true. You need to love yourself before you can really live life, give love to others. And I thought about this, Ghada, recently. I'm always with people. I always do things with others, and it was tough to start doing things intentionally myself. More and more now I'm finding I don't want anybody around. I want to do it myself, because now I can fully focus on what I'm doing. Because when somebody's with you, and whether, you love them or a friend or whatever it is, you're giving half of you to somebody else. And sometimes you only got so much to give.
And the biggest thing is really to be truthful to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
If it's something you did that was wrong, admit that was wrong. Don't give an excuse.
Yeah.
Don't analyze it. It is what it is. How can you fix it?
Yeah.
It just being authentic, humble about it, and show up for whatever it is that you did or you need to do. So going back to your resolution, whatever you want to do this year, put it in writing.
Mm-hmm.
And have a timeline, a deadline. But make it attainable. Don't decide that you want to lose 50 pounds in a month. That's not going to happen. Mm-hmm. Okay? That's unless you want to starve to death. That's not going to happen. Be realistic. Be realistic with what you want to do, and say, okay, by, let's say, June, this is where I want to be. And look at June. Take yourself to June and make your plan working backwards. Example, I want to make $10,000 in 2 months. So I break it down. $10,000. I look at my total and I break it down of how much do I need to make a week to come up to have that 10,000, and then what do I need to do? So it's a big plan. Then you break it down into a small planner, and then small and small and small. And you start with those little small habits, and then you move outward. Am I making sense, or am I losing you?
Oh no, 100%.
Okay.
I'm like 100%. Okay. So bite-sized chunks where you know that you can handle it, instead of saying, I'm going to go build a house and it's got to be done in a month. Well, it's not going to happen. Let's be honest.
Exactly.
But you could frame the house in a month. You could maybe put up the drywall. You could do this. You could do that. How do you deal with when life happens, as we said, and you feel defeated, and then you're like, you've given up, and then you're eating at 10 o'clock at night? Like, how do you get back on track, but also giving yourself grace? Not an excuse. There's a difference.
There's a difference between grace. Yes.
Yeah, when you're just, you're cheating yourself.
Excusing. You're excusing. This is where you're being honest with yourself.
True.
Yeah, you're very honest. Well, when big tragedies happen in life, okay, this is where you've got to stop everything. Everything stops. And that's okay, because things happen and things out of our control, and there's not much we can do about it. But there's this mindset that we have that we deal with this first. And once that is taken care of, if I am able to stay on track, but minimize it, doesn't have to be like, let's say, going to the gym. I don't have to go to the gym 4 days. I can go to the gym one day for half an hour. Doesn't have to be an hour. So you're still showing up for yourself. You did not break that cycle, but it's not the same. And that's okay. Because eventually, when things work out, you will start to rebuild things. And that's life. That's just how life is. We're like, we go up and we go down, and we go up and we go down. It's when we go down, it's to keep the courage to hold on to whatever it is that we are doing and not give up on ourselves. So when we're at a stable level, we can go back and resume.
And I think also realize that resuming will make you feel better.
Yes.
It might not feel that way. And even I had a conversation with a friend the other day about going to the gym. And it turned it from the, I'm going to go now. All right, I'm going to go. I said I'd go. I'm going to go. To if I don't go, I feel like I'm cheating myself. And that's a worse feeling than the alternative.
Yeah.
So
it's really just show up and just be okay when things happen. Because life is life.
Should you write that down too? Now that we're talking
life is
about
life. Life is life. Life is life. I never expected kids with special needs. I never thought really I would have kids with special needs. But it happened.
Yep.
Didn't think I would be home with my son. Not that he's 21. But it happened. And so how do we adjust? Adjusting is a big thing for us. To adjust to changes, to change the way we think, to just like, okay, I am not going to go down the depression hole. This isn't the end of my life.
Right.
I can work around things and change things around and just live it in a different way.
It's not bad. It's just different.
Different.
Yeah.
Nothing is bad.
Yeah.
And when you make a choice, just make that choice. There's not a right choice or a wrong choice. There's a choice that we make. If we're trying to pick, okay, which one do I want to do? Which road do I want to take? Whether it's college, whether it's a vacation, just pick one and go and see what happens.
How do you stay positive?
Oh my gosh. That's a lot of work on yourself. That's a lot of saying it's hard. And I don't think there's one person on earth that is able to answer that completely and truthfully, because it's a continuous work on yourself to say, okay, well, it's okay. How can I change it? Even like with the biggest disaster, like people losing their homes. They can't say it's okay. They can't say you lost everything. That's a trauma. But I look at it, it's material things that we can have again, a life we cannot replace.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everything in life we can replace. Is it tough? It's so tough. It's the toughest thing. But
I'm not minimizing anything, but looking at it in a different way. Like example, fire, lost a home, horrible. No words.
Yes.
Life changing. But, and I've talked to people about this before, you look at it in a different way. Once you go through the challenge in your mind, the different way is, all right, insurance is going to take care of it. Going to rebuild the house. It's going to take some time. But it'll be the exact house I want. It'll be
maybe nicer.
Maybe nicer. Maybe more custom.
Maybe more custom to what I want. Yeah.
Right.
So, and I'm not talking from someone that haven't lived it. So I grew up in Lebanon. I grew up when there was war.
Mm.
And there was a lot of destructions and houses. Like in Lebanon, we didn't have the insurance that paid for everything. So people that lost their homes, they lost everything. They rebuilt it. It's being resilient. It teaches you how to be resilient. It teaches you how to stand on your feet and just keep going in life, no matter what. Because again, life is life.
Yeah. It's,
yes.
I look at it this way. We're all swimming in the river of life.
Yeah.
And the current is taking you this way. And it is, I think we talked about that before. If you fight the current, you're going to go back anyway, and it's going to push you that way. But it's the difference between when you go underneath the water and you get pulled down because of something negative, bad going on in your life. It's the how fast do you get back up to the top, float up to the top, so now you can breathe and you're okay. Breathe. And the time between being down here, we're all going to be there, that's life, to the point where you're back up here swimming again is doing the work. Because I feel if you do the work, stuff's going to happen and you're going to get pulled down, but you're going to hit the bottom and you're going to push yourself, whoop, and I'm back up here. I'm swimming. I can breathe and catch my breath, if you will. And when you're not at that point, you're down at the bottom longer and you don't want to be there. It's uncomfortable.
But a lot of people are stuck in that circle of giving up and depression and not seeing the light. And this is where, like, you need support first. And you have to give, you need to be patient. Being patient. You can't have everything right away. Time will reveal a lot of things. Time will heal. Time will, as long as you're doing the work. I totally agree. It's not a magic thing. Time doesn't bring magic. You have to do the work, and you have to be patient. Yeah. That things will come. And that's where you trust, your faith comes in, and the trust that things will come.
And you have a whole life to live.
Yes.
When you start doing the work, especially with somebody like yourself, it's a blip in terms of your life. And once you master this and you're able to push yourself up from the bottom again and everything's okay, from that point forward to the end of your life, things are better. It doesn't look that way. But one day we're almost out of time, but was there one day where you turned around to yourself, Ghada, and you said, all right, I'm in a good place. I'm not saying that everything's perfect. No. I'm in a good place. It's okay. Maybe better than I was then.
And that's another good thing is people that are working on themselves, like halfway, let's say 3 months into this year, look back. Take a look back at the beginning of the year and see what you did, how much you made, how much progress you made, and where were the obstacles and what you did and how you faced those obstacles. This is how you keep track of what you've been doing and how you can move forward.
Yeah. It's funny. I think back, we all got, as you get old, you got medical stuff dealing with, not major stuff in my life, but when I look back to 3 years ago and I had some things going on and then it resolved, I took care of it. When I look back to then and compared to now, I almost laugh because then this was all new to me. Like, how am I going to do this? Now it's like, whatever, on to the next thing. No worries. We'll figure it out. It's, even looking at, like, I looked at some test results over the weekend and I'm like, I can't read them. I don't know what I'm looking at. And I'm like, oh, this looks alarming here. And then they sent the text to it and I read it and they dumb it down for regular people like us. And I'm like, it looks like everything's fine from what it says. I'll get a professional look at it. But in my mind, I was like, I wasn't freaking out, but I was like, I don't know. We'll have to wait on that. But,
it's like, it's alarming.
Yeah, for a moment. But if you went back in my world 3 years ago, it would be like bells and whistles and lights and everything. What is going on? Now it's like I think it's because you have faith in yourself and the universe and whatever you get your faith from. But it takes time.
It takes, and you know what? It doesn't end. That's the thing. We're always working on ourselves. That does not end.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or we should be working on ourselves.
Yes. Yes. We should be working on ourselves. Even me, I'm like, every day. I'm working on something on myself. And every day I feel like, okay, I'm going backwards. Okay. I notice that. Then I do something and I reflect and here we go. It's a roller coaster.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is.
And that's life. So guess
what?
That's
life.
You have this in life. If life was like this, you wouldn't know the good times and you wouldn't know the bad times. It would just be this. You need my belief, you have to have the bad times to realize the good times.
Well, the bad times are going to come.
They are.
Whether we like it or not, they're here.
It's called change. How you react to it. That's the key.
That's the key. Yes. Yes.
How do we find you? If somebody is going through something, they're swimming and they're down at the bottom. How can they use your help to get back up?
Turn on your computer or your phone while you're all the way on the bottom and look up savoryourseasons.com or email me at Ghada@savoryourseasons.com.
Yeah, we're living through those seasons. You may as well savor them.
Yes. Yeah. That's the thing. Yes. If you don't, you're going to look back and say,
Yeah.
And you don't want to look back and say, I wish I did.
Yeah. And I do that now. Well, I just said how I reacted to things that I would react differently to now. And it makes me laugh inside. It's just, wow, the difference between, 3 years of doing the work of what you realize.
Yep.
Great talking with you.
Thank you. Same here. Thank you.
If you're not staying on track with your New Year's resolutions, your accountability is right over here. SavorYourSeasons.com. Ghada, thank you so much today.
Thank you. Bye.
We'll be right back. Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Adopt US Kids presents Multiple Choice Parenting.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes?
How could he do this to you? And for Sheila, she has split ends.
B, console her?
Oh, sweetie, this is going to happen a lot. 4, maybe 5 more times before you get married.
C, take charge?
Got to get this all straightened out. Keep a little talking to, man to man, mano a mano. Hey, Steve! It's now a good time? No? Okay, no problem. Bye.
Or D, help her find a new boyfriend?
I know a great place to meet boys. The internet. Nice, single boys. Never mind. How about some ice cream?
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
For more information on how you can adopt, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.